Like the air we breathe and the water we drink, food is essential to our well-being. Whether we are hunter-gatherers, small farmers, or supermarket consumers, our sense of security depends on safe, high-quality food. Since the beginnings of agriculture, people grew their own food, or knew who grew it. This bond between producer and consumer helped to ensure food quality and safety. International trade in food has grown over thousands of years. Today, an abundance and variety of food never before possible travels the globe. But how can we be sure our food is safe and of good quality? One answer is Codex Alimentarius, Latin for food law, a collection of rigorously defined standards to ensure safe, high-quality food. In 1962, two UN agencies, the Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Health Organization, together created the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Codex benefits everybody in the food chain, especially consumers, by protecting them from food-borne hazards, and producers by increasing access to international markets. The Commission and its more than 20 specialist committees and task forces meet to create and update Codex standards based on scientific advice from independent expert groups organized by FAO and WHO. Growing public concerns about food safety issues are placing Codex at the center of global debates. Biotechnology, pesticides, food additives, and contaminants are only some of the issues discussed in Codex meetings. Reference made to Codex standards within the World Trade Organization means that Codex has far-reaching implications for resolving trade disputes.
Nutrition claims are not permitted in our legislation and in a number
The meetings engage member countries, industry, and civil society in intense debates.
The level of participation is increasing over the last 5–10 years. Every year we have a new record. In this year, we had the participation of over 320 delegates and over 30 NGOs and other international organizations. That is a new record.
Because Codex operates mainly by consensus, decision-making can take time and can be frustrating.
Getting a consensus can be one big pain in the ass. And therefore, on the one hand, a consensus is helpful because all the governments will support it. And on the other hand, there can be so much disagreement that you'll never have a decision.
The difficulty is that we come to a point on consensus that then finishes this year, we come back to it next year, and we're at a different point. So it's the consensus from year to year that becomes very difficult from my point of view.
Consensus is a difficult process at times in Codex, but I think ultimately that's really the way to go. There have been votes in the past. They're very rare, but they tend not to be, they tend to be divisive, I think. And so the objective to have consensus, in our estimation, is the way to go. It's slower sometimes, it's harder sometimes.
The global relevance of Codex standards comes from the shared expertise of a wide range of participants. However, active and effective participation can be a challenge.
I think it's a very intimidating arena in which to actually make your feelings felt. You need to be absolutely on the ball with your references and your science.
My experience in participation of Codex meetings is that being there is the key issue. But corollary to that, or more important, is having the technical information in hand.
I think globalization is something very complex and difficult, and We are just starting to understand how to work all together.
I think it excludes the voices of dissident science, which is usually very important for advancing our understanding.
I believe the quality of participation in conferences could be greatly enhanced by delegates and delegations coming prepared with the scientific information they need, prepared to be able to move position and negotiate.
Although delegates may have strong differences in their opinions, they feel positive about having a forum to express their views.
When I came into a Codex meeting first time in 1998, it was a club of the rich countries. But in 2005, it no longer is.
Experience is very important in the Codex committee meetings because the group is large and you should understand some of the procedures and be very fast at piecing together the kind of stand that you already built before coming.
Many countries, like Thailand, are using Codex standards to help their farmers tap international markets.
We want to be the kitchen of the world. We care and respond to our consumer. So for better living of our people, our own, we try to promote the Codex standard.
A few decades ago, poor hill tribe people in northern Thailand were growing opium to survive and harming their environment through slash-and-burn cultivation. In 1969, the King of Thailand launched an innovative project to help hill tribes move from opium cultivation to producing high-value, exotic fruits and vegetables. The Royal Project conducted research on highland agriculture and worked to improve both natural resource management and quality of life. In its first 2 decades, the Royal Project enabled over 85,000 people to gain stable and prosperous livelihoods. It reduced opium production from 300 to 6 tons a year and replanted and reforested degraded lands. Building on these successes, the Royal Project began expanding the safety and quality of agricultural products by applying Codex standards and codes of practice. Before harvesting, soils are tested for traces of pesticides. After harvesting, farmers grade their own produce before it's cooled and transported to packing houses, where it is tested again. Extension workers work closely with farmers to continually improve their products and yields.
เรื่องของระบบ GAP ที่เรานำมาใช้ในระยะแรกเองก็มีเกษตรกร
They now know they'll get safer vegetables, bigger sized, that help them to earn more. And they also feel very safe to eat their own produce.
As their skills increase, hill tribe farmers are becoming more confident about investing their time and money in cultivating new crops. They learn that only produce that meets safety and quality controls can be marketed. As production increases, Thailand intends to market the Royal Project's high-quality products around the world.
Our farmer is a small-scale farmer, smallholder. We know that for smallholder it's very hard for them to follow up the standard. But for our countries, we try to promote them to follow. We know that the quality, the high quality and safety is very important for our world market.
Codex standards make trade growth possible and safe. They are the link between growers like the hill tribe people of Thailand, the many actors in the food chain, and consumers worldwide. More and more developing countries take part in this process, in many cases assisted by the Codex Trust Fund, which strives to finance and train participants from such countries to enable efficient participation. Being an active member of Codex helps them to compete in sophisticated world markets and to improve food safety for their own population. At the same time, exporters know what importers demand and importers are protected from substandard shipments. For almost 50 years, the Codex system has evolved to meet emerging challenges. International food trade is a $200 billion a year industry, with billions of tons of food produced, marketed, and transported. There is a lot at stake here for protecting consumers' health and ensuring fair practices in the food trade. For both, Codex is vital.